Welcome to the War Room. Today, I want to talk in particular to the black men in America, and then on a broader spectrum to the black nation of America, particularly those that are involved in the Black Lives Matters campaign. Now, being a zebra in America, born of mixed parents, has given me a really unique view of what our country is. Because as a young man, as alluded to in my poem, waking up as a man of color in this country, there are definite hurdles and obstacles that you have to deal with and contend with. America is a country that is founded on racist roots and slavery, and those things are going to be forever etched into who we are and what our country is. But I feel like the biggest problem that we've had in America is, instead of trying to remedy the situation, instead of dealing with it, we've done nothing but put band-aids on a wound that was eventually going to be a mortal injury. And that's kind of the state that we're at today. Now, if you're able to back yourself away and remove yourself from the emotionality of the situation and look at it objectively, instead of how it's been played out in your own world or however you've been instructed to view it, if you look at the steps that have been taken to get us where we are today, and then compare that to what this movement is all about, you've got to step back and wonder how the fuck you allowed yourself to get played so hard. And I want to unpack that real quick. And this might be a little bit detailed, but at this point, it's kind of important to understand that you're being fucking played. Now, for the majority of my life, the feminist agenda has been in full swing. And what that did was it systematically destroyed the family, demonized the men, and in turn left little boys at home to be raised by single mothers who turned them into basically male little girls. And you don't have to agree with that. As a matter of fact, if you disagree with it, you're probably part of the problem. This idea that women can raise strong men and all that shit it's been proven to be asinine and complete lunacy. And all you have to do is look at the black community to see that. You can see the matriarchy in full bloom when women are left alone to raise men. And what you have is the outpouring of emotionality that we see from the effeminate men and boys that are running around the streets screaming Black Lives Matter because the TV and the propaganda media has instructed them to do so. Now, as a man of color myself, I've experienced what it's like to live in the ghetto. I've been a part of that whole process, and I know for a fact that black lives don't fucking matter until it matters inside your own circle. Because we cannibalize one another. This is all by design, and can be pretty much perfectly understood if you read the Willie Lynch letter and consider the ramifications, because that's exactly what happens now. My entire childhood, while dealing with the fact that I had color in my skin, I didn't have enough color for the black side of my family and got ridiculed and mocked frequently. And if I'm really honest about my own life and not trying to fall in any category and gain anybody's approval or acceptance, if I'm honest, every chance that I got in my life, every avenue that I had to be successful, it was granted to me on the shoulders of a white man. Black folks have never done fucking anything to help me. As a matter of fact, I can share several instances where my success caused them some sort of angst. That's what we do. But we want to scream about Black Lives Matter because this propaganda that's been perpetuated by the people pulling the same fucking people that were pulling the strings during slavery with the amendments, the 13th Amendment that changed the plantation to the penitentiary. These same people that you think got your back are fucking constructing your own destruction, and you're marching to it. The biggest problem in the black community inside the family is the lack of fatherhood. It's a lack of male guidance, male leadership. There's no men anymore. They hijacked the music, and now all of the influential rappers and artists are borderline homos, skinny jeans, doing homo shit, because that's what the masters want them to do. And they've influenced the kids that have been feminized by mom, who's been lonely, and construct these little boys to be the perfect man for them, and they turn them into little bitches. And that's the construct. That's the frame. So you have a bunch of little boys that grow up with no male guidance, no discipline, no loyalty to anyone but their mother. And when they shoot somebody, mom's the first one hopping on the TV crying about her innocent little baby boy, a perfect little baby who just murdered a motherfucker because he had the wrong color shoes on. But Black Lives Matter? Let me tell you fucking men that are involved in this situation. I don't know how you can wear a t-shirt and support something that has your extermination at heart. Do you even know what the fuck those people believe in? The movement, not the sentiment, not the notion that Black Lives Matter, because I agree with that 100%. Black people have been stomped on and just degraded since slavery. I get it. But do you honestly believe that the people who funded this bullshit, who are trying to sneak this homosexual agenda through this shit and do away with man spaces, they're perpetuating the same fucking culture that ended up in the sickness in the black community in the first place? You think I'm lying? Let me share a little bit of what they believe and what they want so you understand what you're out there tearing shit up for. We're self-reflexive and do the work required to dismantle cisgender privilege and uplift black trans folk, especially black trans women who continue to be disproportionately impacted by trans antagonistic violence. We build a space that affirms black women and is free from sexism, misogyny, and environments in which men are centered. That means they're going to try to further do away with men in this culture and make them women more of the center point. They've been the fucking centerpiece the whole time. Since they started taking the men out of the homes, the women have been the centerpiece. So what are we looking for here? What are we looking for here? To completely abolish black males from the influence in the black community, which is, we've seen what the fuck that yields. We see the effects of single mothers raising a kid, regardless of how she got single, regardless if he ran off, if he got locked up, if he got killed. It doesn't matter. Collectively, 75% of the fucking kids are born into single parenthood, single mother homes. It's no wonder that we've got the chaos and the failure rate that we have. Because here's a fundamental truth that will always hold, no matter how emotional you get, no matter how much you scream, cry, and deny the truth. Women cannot raise a boy to be a fucking man. And with the mental derangement that feminism has implied on women, with the delusion that they are equal to men in all aspects, and then they're passing this bullshit down to the kids. That's why we have just a nation of girls. And you men that are marching this march, they're not building anything for you. They're not building anything for you. There's no mention of you. It's homos and women. You're just the platform to stand on as they shoot. You want to make real change? You want to make real change? Stop with the superficial bullshit. White folks are sitting in front of you praying, and everybody trying to do this Instagram one-up, let me lay on my belly and put my... That's fucking stupid shit. That ain't going to change anything. All you're doing is pissing off the people who could actually make change. That's all it is. And you think you're making something better? You think you're going to hijack America with this bullshit? What you're doing is you're following the plan of some motherfuckers who don't have anything to do with your well-being. All these Democrats that are riding, walking, marching, laying down, praying, doing all this shit, pretending like they give a fuck about you. Where was the black agenda when they had their national convention? They took care of the homos. They took care of the immigrant issue. They took care of everything around black folks except for black folks. Every fucking cause that rises up gets precedence over black folks in this country. And for the first time in my lifetime, we got a president that's actually made changes for black people, and you motherfuckers are too stupid to see it. And you're gonna march right back to the Democratic drum because they fed you some delusion about Obama being a good president because he was the same skin. You motherfuckers need to wake the fuck up and look at what you're doing. They're piling up bricks, they're paying kids, they're embedding motherfuckers in this movement that's putting you right in the crosshairs of the motherfuckers that are just waiting to take this country back. And all of them people ain't white. Black folks who think for themselves, that don't get prescribed how they feel off the internet and off the TV. Black folks that have just identified what America is and went forward anyway. Everybody's got a plight. America is what it is, but that ain't no fucking excuse for you to be not shit. You keep sitting back and waiting for somebody to give you something. Anybody owe you shit. And you really think Sleepy Joe and these motherfuckers are gonna do something that they've never done? This is how stupid they think you are. That motherfucker told you wasn't black if you didn't vote for them. That's how dumb the Democrats think black folks are. And you're proving them right with all this nonsense in the streets. All of this bullshit in the streets. Why you wearing weave in your hair talking about white folks got you oppressed and shit? You're oppressing your motherfucking self. And black folks do that shit to each other all the motherfucking time. This shit right here is a temporary flash in the pan. But when it's over, you're going to have to pay for all the shit you did. All the shit you did. You better hope you don't get your way. This defunding the police and all this fucking nonsense you're demanding, you better hope you don't get your way. Because the motherfucker who's pulling your strings, the department that they got that's going to replace the motherfuckers you believe that is so oppressive to you, even you motherfuckers marching where the shit didn't even happen. The shit that they're going to replace these police that you crying about, that shit right there is going to make this shit look fun. You think I'm bullshitting? Ask the motherfucking Germans. Read something other than the World Star comments and learn something about history. These motherfuckers that are funding your bullshit are marching you to your own destruction. Now, I'm not saying don't be part of this shit. If that's what your imperative is, that is America. You do as you see fit. But before you throw on a Black Lives Matter t-shirt and talk all this bullshit and demonize a whole race of motherfuckers because you can't get your shit together or because somebody told you should be enraged or whatever, go take a look at that fucking website. Go read about what they believe. And if that shit don't line up with what you believe, then you need to be out. You need to be out. Because the best thing for people to do right now, America for the first time in my life is listening. And all you motherfuckers are doing is talking stupid shit. Do you even have a plan? Because I've not heard one word about reforming your schools. getting to a point to where you actually have a chance to elevate yourself, because that's where it all starts. You want to defund the same motherfuckers that are you're going to call when this shit turns and comes to your house. Who are you going to call in? Who are you going to call? You need to be thinking clearly. You got the attention of the country. Now make some fucking sense. Out.